Okay, this morning I'm going to show you how to make Perdu, or as we call it in America, French toast. So first you're going to need these ingredients: de beurre, les œufs, deux les œufs, de lait, de vanille, a glass or any sort of a pan to cook in, and bread, pain. J'ai trois de pain. So we'll begin by cracking 2 eggs into the glass pan. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to get some butter starting to melt as my cooking pan heats up. I'll turn it on to just a little above medium heat. Whoops, I did a horrible job cracking that egg. I got a shell. Deca. Now I add just a little bit of milk. Not very much. Probably that's enough. A little bit of vanilla. And the ingredient I forgot to mention, cinnamon. Now it's time to stir the eggs and milk and cinnamon and vanilla all together. This might end up making 4 pieces, so I'll have to get another piece of bread if it does. Okay, now I'm gonna wait a few minutes for this pan to be ready. Okay, I think my pan is ready. Oops, there's some stuff on the burner smoking. So now I'll put a piece of bread in the mixture and toss it in the pan. A little trick I do so it doesn't stick, because even with the butter sometimes it sticks. Try to keep moving it before it has a chance to stick. Now comes the very exciting part of watching bread cook. Watching bread cook. Wow. Okay, I think it's probably done on that side. Let's take a look. Oh, pretty close. It probably could have gone a little longer. I'll flip it again if I need to. I might, yeah, the heat's probably fine. Okay, time for the last piece of bread. I may have a little extra egg sauce. Whoops. I need to add some more butter to this pan. Getting a little hot. Have it just a little too high now. I wish I had a little tiny piece of bread for this. I'll just make this one really eggy. Okay. I'm gonna flip this over now. The last side. And while that's finishing up, I'm going to put some of this real maple sugar or syrup that my parents brought back from Vermont. I'm going to put it. Okay, it took a little doing to get that open because the lid was kind of stuck. So now I'm going to pour some of this maple syrup into a measuring cup. That's probably about right. And then I'm going to heat it up in the microwave oven. Just a little bit. Let it just warm up enough that it's nice and warm on the Perdu Perdu. That's probably enough. Yeah, maybe a little more. I like to set a kettle on the hot burner after it's done so that I don't accidentally put my hand on the burner. And I guess also it puts a little heat into the water, which doesn't matter because I'm not going to use that water. Okay, that's nice and hot. Now let's pour it on the Perdu. I think it's going to be scrumptious. That's more maple syrup than I needed, so I think I might just pour that back in when it cools. It's kind of expensive to waste. And before I finish, I've got my mocha frappe stuff. I'm gonna heat the water in there just a little more. I already heated it once. And we're going to have that to drink with breakfast. Okay, I just poured the water in. And then now I must stir. And don't you know that Nothing is worth more than this day. It's true. Okay. Notice that there are not a lot of pans and things around. That's because when my food cooks, I usually, while it's sitting there cooking, I like to wash the dishes that I've used. That way I'm not left with a giant mess to clean up when I'm all done. Just a little tiny mess to clean up when I'm all done eating. And there we have it. Perdu pain avec le café. Well, it's not really coffee, but it's sort of fakey coffee. Well, bon appetit. Let's see how it tastes. It's so good. Au revoir.